Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Linzito podcast, broadcasting live from Kimberley, the Diamond Oval. Not only am I broadcasting live from the Diamond Oval, I've also got a diamond sitting right in front of me. His name is Kagisho Mohale. KG, how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm awesome. Thanks, and thank you for coming through. Thank you for the warm welcome that you guys have given. I'm very impressed with what you guys are doing here. You are running a well-oiled machine. But today is not about machines. I basically want whoever's listening to know who Kagisho is. We basically want to know everything there is to know about you and how you got to where you are, because it's been quite a journey. It's a journey that not a lot of people know about, but it is a journey that is inspirational for any black cricketer or any aspiring cricketer or any youngster that is within the mini cricket space today, because that's where your journey started. So if I can just ask, who is Kagisho? Where were you born? What was your early life like? Let's start there.
Evening, everyone. With my life, I'm Kagisho Mohale from Kimberley, born and bred, from Kagisho. My life is not something that is very interesting, but
I can hear from the ish and you know you're just spicing it up, which is an amazing thing, because once a person says ish, it means that there's so much, but you don't know where to start. So I think maybe let's also just assess in terms of, so you're saying you were born and bred in Kimberley. What is it about your formative years, like your first 5 years, that you can remember? How far back to your birth can you remember life? Being born in Kimberley?
it's a tough one. From first 5 years, I was living with my mom and dad at the time. We were staying in number 5 from at my father's mother.
So is number 5 the house number, or is it the area number?
The area in Khalishe.
Oh, okay. So it's called 5.
So the street name is Mojanach.
Okay.
I just forgot the house name. So we used to live there when I was young, before I started attending school in Munsiwa Primary School in White City. So what my parents used to do when we were staying, my father was a baker. He was a baker at the time. So, and he was good at it. So my mom wasn't working at the time, so we were staying at a back room. So before they started getting their own place, so the first 5 years, when I started going to primary school, I used to stay with my granny, and also Khaleshewe, White City. So that's where the life took turn. Yes.
And it's interesting, and pardon me, I'm also a granny's child from both sides, and it's amazing how, if you look at majority of South Africans, their upbringing have been shaped by grandmothers, and I don't think in this day and age they get the acknowledgement that they need, or that they deserve, basically. So it's interesting that in your upbringing you mentioned both your parents, which is something that is a privilege in our townships. Not every. Yeah, so our grandmothers, like I was saying, I think they deserve a lot more love, and a lot more of our concern. The same way in this day and age, we are concerned and obsessed with a lot of worldly things. We should never forget their role. And whilst on that topic, would you? I remember reading up on you, and it said that you used to be a soccer player. When were you first introduced to sports?
The first I was introduced to sports is when I was still young, because of my grandmother, because of my cousins and my brothers used to play cricket. So most of the time, when we were young, if there's cricket playing on TV, the grandmothers at home, we would watch cricket. So that's how I got introduced into cricket as well before I started playing it. Then with the soccer part, I think with the soccer it's just because of friends actually. I wasn't that good in soccer like my friends, but because of just all of my friends I was used to hang out with and do everything with, they were playing soccer. So they go to soccer gyms and when I started playing soccer, it was because of my friends. So most of my friends were playing soccer, but the area we grew up, it was in number 5. The area was like mostly soccer guys. Then like in White City, so it was because of now we close to the cricket stadium and everything. So that's why I wasn't good also in soccer, but I went there because of friends.
Yeah, so it was basically participating. So it's like peer pressure.
Sure.
Also
Yes,
the
yes,
gents
yes,
are doing
yes,
it. Let me also do it.
Yes, because of now, it's like no one at the cricket, so everyone, all of my friends going that way. So that's where also I took that route to soccer.
And that's interesting because a lot of guys get pushed towards a sport because friends are playing it. Even if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, his way is because a friend decided to give up his spot in the team. So yeah, sometimes friends, they can be bad influence, but sometimes they can be good as well.
Yes, true.
Yeah, but now tell me, so now you're dabbling between cricket and soccer. Or football, as they call it. You're dabbling between these two sports. How was it affecting your schooling at that time?
When I started, it didn't affect anything with my schooling because of I was still young, still at primary school, secondary school. So school-wise, it was fine for me, both of them, because of from school, because we were jamming in the afternoon. So I had to decide that is it cricket or is it soccer.
So you just basically had to choose.
I have to choose which training am I going to. So that's why I knew that okay, my friends are going this way. Yeah.
So let me go that way as well.
My parents know I'm at a cricket training. But
in fact, that was going to be my next question to you is, when do you decide, because now you've got these two sports that you're dabbling between, when do you decide to say, you know what, I'm quitting this one, this is the route that I'm going?
For me to quit soccer, that's where now, okay, I went back to cricket from soccer because of now my mom, they let my mom know everything. Because of, I think also it's because of the coaches. The coaches had that believe that I have the talent to play the sport, the cricket sport. So from that young age, the coaches, for them to go to my house and tell my parents that this guy's haven't been to training for a month, not for a month, sorry, for a week, 2 weeks, he hasn't been in training. Where is the guy? Then my mom said, no. When he leaves here, he says he's going to cricket training. But now when I leave the house, I meet with my friends first. We chill for 30 an hour. Then it's time for gym. They go that way. I say, I can't go there alone. And everyone is going this way. Let me go this way also. So I was just going with the wind. The wind's blowing this way. I'm going this way as well.
So and what is your mother doing when she hears now that my son says he's going to cricket, and here's a cricket coach is coming to my house and saying, my son hasn't been at cricket. Where is my son going to? What's going to your mom's head? And what is she? How is she reprimanding you?
I'm not sure what went through her head, but I knew that day because of I went to the soccer training as well. That day when the coach went to my house, because it was during training and I was training at the soccer, so they went to my house. So when I got back home, she asked me, like, okay, where were you? No, I was at the cricket training. Okay, but your coach were here. He says he was not there for 2 weeks. Where were you? Where were you training for 2 weeks? So he started there, started whooping me. And it was on a Friday. So the following week, Monday, after school, because training was around 2:30. So she made it sure. She took me to the cricket ground, left me there in front of the coach at Kagisho, like for a week or 2. So I knew when I come from school, I can't leave the house. I have to stay until she drops me off at the cricket gym. So for me, leaving soccer as well, even the coaches came to me, it's like, So there's a pipeline in cricket from Baker's mini cricket from under 11 to under 19. So it's not like when you're done here, you out of the system. No, we can see you. We can record your thing from under
The
from
progress.
the progress from thing. And if you're good at it, you're gonna play the provincial every December. There's a tournament for every from under 11 to under 19, where they choose the best in Northern Cape and the best in other provinces. They compete at a national tournament. So I didn't believe it at the time because I was still young. Saying, nah, they're lying at me. It's lying. There's nothing like this. Until I made my first under 11 team.
Okay. So tell me the under 11 team you're referring to, is it the provincial team?
Yes, provincial team.
And then another question that I wanted to ask you, because I know a lot of youngsters, they get their first taste of travel from being engaged in sports before you made the team. And I'm just assuming that it was a traveling team. It was a team that was selected for it to go and compete maybe in another province or so. And I'm just assuming, and at sometimes you can be part of the home team that is hosting another team that's traveling. Before you got selected, did you have any traveling experience before? Did you ever travel, or did you start traveling as a result of being involved in sports?
I started traveling as a result of being in sports.
So would that have been your first taste of travel
Of
with
traveling,
your
yes.
under 11? Take
And
us through that.
And first time sleeping in a hotel, like a 5-star hotel, like
Wow.
at the age of playing under 11 at that age. Never slept at a hotel like a 5-star hotel before. It's like, okay. When we left December, we were playing my first tournament. Like it was in Benoni.
So that meant you'd have traveled outside of Kimberley, outside of Northern Cape, and you'd have gone to Gauteng, and now you're sleeping in a hotel. What does this do to a boy from Kagisho? Like literally, you made reference to the fact that you were in between a government home or a council home, if I can put it that way, and a back room. And now you're finding yourself, just because of a sport which you got whipped into, now you are relaxing in a 5-star hotel. What does that do to the mind of a youngster?
Me as a youngster is like, we mustn't leave. Like it's nice here. Like you get your breakfast in time, you sleep, you don't clean your room, they clean for you, your bed is made for you. So that experience for me, like damn,
That's the life I want to live.
there's a life I want to live.
And now and now you come back from this travel, and I'm sure you've got pictures and you've got this whole experience behind you, and you get home to Kagisho and you see the boys are still playing soccer. What are you saying to them?
I feel when I get back over, I felt like no, something's not right because of now that week I spent there. Then I come back home. That first 2 days now is like I have to adapt again to this, to
the normal life.
To the normal life again, because now I know every morning wake up, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock is breakfast. Go, you get your lunch, you get your supper on time, you sleep, you wake up. So now it's nice. We go to the mall, we go to you eat things that you never eat when you're
at home.
At home,
And you're getting spending money.
You're spending money. You get money from your parents, and not the usual amount you're supposed to get, like more than
because they're so proud of what you've achieved.
So they give you like, okay, this is the money for you to buy yourself food. So when you say, hey, there's a lot. So it's the first time okay, every December I knew that I have to make sure I make the team so I can get this kind of money from my parents. I must get this from my parents. They buy me new shoes, cricket equipment.
So are you now not at this point in time, are you not trying to convince your soccer friends to say, gents, there's life here by cricket?
I try. Some of them, it's been a while, I don't see them, but some of them I see them still in the class. But they don't play soccer, like, they don't take it serious that anymore.
And I'm sure they have regrets.
Yeah.
What type of regrets do you hear from the guys that literally had an opportunity where you guys were in the same boat, you came from the same background, and here you are as an example of someone that got an opportunity and you took it and you tried convincing them, but it was not something that they were interested in.
Yeah, some of them, they still regret it by now. The ones I met, actually. We still good friends, like, till now. So, they said by that time uh, they were not thinking out of the box. Like, they were, how can I say it? Like,
Visionless, for
vision,
less of
yes.
for lack of a
So,
better word.
yeah, so visionless. So that they were just looking that, okay, this is what I want to play. I love this. Soccer. I'll make it in soccer. And in cricket, I told them, no, let's go to cricket, play cricket because of cricket, this. No, because they love soccer. And the coaches, like, actually speak to them. No, you're going to make it. You know, sometimes when they give you that hope that the coach saying, hey, you're going to make it one day, you're going to be this, you're going to be this, you're going to go where. And as a kid, you also say, okay, that's the route. And that time, you're good at it. Because of most of them were very, very good at soccer. So that's what I said now. No, man. Some of you guys, I think you were good. But now, the opportunities you guys didn't get from soccer, from the soccer part. So I was like, if the soccer guys come from Joburg, they come to Kimberley. It's 100 of you guys, and they have to select. They only take 2 out of 100. So your chances are very slim.
So yeah, and that's the thing now. Are they not inspired by your growth? Because you didn't just make the under 11 team and stop there. You went on. Take us through that journey from under 11. You then went on to, is it under 13? You said
Yes, and my journey, I started from Bakers mini cricket. Then I went from Bakers to under 11. It was Cricket and West the time, under 11. Then went to under 13. Went to under 13. Then after that, I made under 15B.
And how old were you when you making the under 15 team? Were you within the age category, or were you super young, challenging the big guys?
I was a year younger.
Okay.
So, but I didn't, because there was two can I say, not groups? Yeah, like I say 2 groups. There was like Krikwa A and Krikwa B.
Okay.
So what happens if you don't make the A team and you feel you still have something and you're still good at it, they will put you on a Krikwa B. So what would happen? Krikwa B have their own tournament. It's also provincial. The B teams also is like the A teams. But as kids, all of us want to make the A team. So then I played under 15 2 years. Then the second year I made the A team. Then I went to under 17. I played for 1 year, made the A team. Then I was supposed to play for 2 years under 19.
So when you're calling these age categories, all of them come with traveling experiences and making new friends. I want you to share with us as you're going through it. So the Benoni one was Baker's, you said.
No, but
there was under 11.
Under 11, it was Benoni one was Michaela's week.
Okay.
That was called Michaela's week. That one happens during the year.
And how old were you when you did that one?
Under 11, I was 11.
Okay.
When I started playing it, I played until under 19. But now, when I started, when they introduced the tournament, they started with under 11 to under 15 first. So that's where they introduced the tournament. So when it was successful for, I think I played for 3 years or 2 years.
And all those 3 years it was in Benoni?
Benoni.
Okay.
They hosted everything. So after that 3 years, it was successful. Then they swap it around from under 7 and under 15 to under 19 now. So when I went to under 15, they cancelled from under 11 to under 13. So luckily, I was already under 15. So
you were always just making the cut.
I know what year is Benoni for me. The best that you choose your training, we go to that. It's a week. We're playing for a week. Benoni, all the kids. It was fun. And I really enjoyed it, to be honest. Because of now, everyone, you don't know who's watching you at
So
that age.
so you're traveling between. So you now had an opportunity to get yourself an annual vacation, basically from Kimberley to Benoni every year. Were there any other travels in between where you would make where you were making team? Because what I want is I want a youngster listening to this podcast to not only listen for the sake of listening, to also listen for this for the sake of saying, you know what, this was Kagisho's travel journey, or this is his travel pattern. So I also want to travel like that. Maybe there's no money at home, or maybe I don't have the resources to do travel. But if I can just focus on my sports, then I can travel like he traveled. Were there any other destinations where you traveled to as a youngster apart from Benoni?
Yeah, that's one. There's also it's during the year, just before end of the year, before the national week. Then we will play against Free State, but we don't sleep over. It's just a
Or
day.
go for the day?
We go there, and now Northern Cape. That time was Griquas and West, and Free State is rivalries. So when we play each other,
The neighbors.
no one was to lose against Free State or Northern Kimberley. So we're gonna make sure when we go to Bloom,
So it's a derby,
It's
basically.
a derby. So that's the most important game ever because of
The bragging
the
rights.
breaking rights. So now they will say, no, we beat Griquas and West or let me say Northern Cape now since it's Northern Cape. We beat Northern Cape last year, so we beat them again this year. So even now again with the provincial setup, we are again in the same pool. So it's gonna be the same rivalry again because of it's been happening for years from school cricket. And I used to love it. When you play Free State, that's the only game you don't wanna lose. Is against them.
So basically, once you've won that game, you've won the World Cup.
Yeah,
Any
yes.
other game doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because we know when our CEOs and ever meet each other and the Free State free CEOs, we know that thing's gonna come up.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure. So when
Let's
we
make
meet-
sure that your CEO is the one that's going to be doing all the bragging.
Yes, when they meet and talk, say, okay, we won. So you can go with confidence as well. That
Okay. And then so you now doing this these annual tours. You're doing the Free State Northern Cape rivalry or the derby, and obviously you're also growing older. You're getting more matured. Your vision is probably no longer just to make the Northern Cape team. It's also now looking at essays. Just give us a sense of the mind shift to saying, as you're growing, how's the thinking now? And I know I asked it previously, and you said because it was primary, you were able to handle it, and there was no effect on your academics. As you're going older, now you're seeing opportunities. Now you're seeing, okay, you know what? Most of the guys that are making it, they are performing in school and they are performing on the field. So I can't lose it. What is your headspace at that point in time as you now going towards finishing school and you're taking a more concerted and a more serious approach towards your cricketing career?
yeah, going to my high school and playing cricket that time, I feel when we were young, like going to primary school, secondary school, that time we were just playing for fun. Like we love the sport, you're playing, you don't have stress. You don't
You're just
have
basically being a child.
Yes. So immediately you go to high school. So when you go to high school, you also play for Northern Cape under 17 and 19. So now you see the opportunities because of now there's camps. I went to the under 17 national camp.
So it's the Proteas.
Yes, I went to under 17 national camp. So when I came back after that camp, so I was like, okay, so people are watching us because I didn't know that before. So they were watching your stats, they were watching everything. So you were just playing, enjoying the cricket, everything. So after the camp, I was like, so I asked, one of the coaches said to me, no, they're watching you. They're watching your stats. We're sending your stats. If we talk about you, they say, okay, send the stats, the game stats, whatever. So from there, I was like, okay, so now this cricket thing is coming serious from under 17. So because of now this national camps, you get national coaches there for the week, coaching you guys, fitness, nets, fielding. uh, even meetings, one-on-ones, like they also touch your brain to see, can you think cricket? Not personally, just to see, can you think the game? Can you see if the
Can you
game,
strategize?
yes, if this game goes this way, what's gonna happen? What must you do if you in this situation? So they're trying to put that in your mind as well.
Inculcated.
So they're trying to put that in your mind. So from high school now, that's where I said, okay, actually there's something for me here. If I can say that, there's something for me in the cricket way because of since I made it under 17 national camp. So I was like, no. If I can go to CSA, and now that time it was my first flight, to be honest.
So now you're no longer doing bus, now you're doing flights. You are not catching feelings, you're catching flights.
So it was my first flight. So I was like, okay. So that's how they treat professionals from CSA, because it was a CSA national wing.
Yeah.
So like, okay. So because I asked one of the guys, they went before.
They were regulars.
Yeah, so I was like, said, no, yeah, you fly. You don't drive. They book you flight, you go, they fly you back, they fetch you at the airport, whatever. I was like, okay. So, all right. So they were like, the life there is more nicer than what we have here at home, our team. So I was like, how do you mean? And everything is like up there, like the hotels, the traveling. They ask you, okay, you wanna drive, or you have someone gonna drive what, or must you book your flight? So I was like, no, flight.
Obvious.
it was gonna be the first time. Like, nah, I must fly. So I was like, okay, if you fly, who's gonna get us at the airport? They said, no, the coaches have the combis, so they have everyone's times. Whatever time you're landing, they will be there. I said, okay, nah, let me fly. So that's what I took. Then I made also under 19 national camp as well. That one was in Bloom. So that one was the toughest one from the under 17.
Is it so when you're saying tough, is it tough mentally and psychologically, or is it tough in terms of the duration that you are away from home? What is it about the under 19 camp that made it tough for you or difficult?
For me, it wasn't tough because of I was away from home. Because now at that time I was enjoying it. I'm sleeping at the hotel. I'm wherever. So
you're enjoying the perks and the benefits that come with it.
Yes, being away from home wasn't that effective to me. It was just cricket wise. They had their own standards. Of okay, they coach under 19 boys before. So there's a standard they set. Fielding, batting wise, bowling, everything in cricket, even fitness. Let's not forget fitness. Even fitness. So there's a standard.
So I love how you're breaking down the focus or the focus on the if I can call it the subsections of the game of cricket. And whilst you're noticing all this, that the different aspects of the game have professionals or experts focusing on them, have you made a decision at this point in time as to whether you want to be a bowler, you want to be a fielder, you want to be a batsman, or are you still switching over from having fun and just enjoying the game, or have you said, now, okay, you know what, I want to focus on my batting, I want to focus on my bowling at this point in time? Because for many years you have been leading wicket takers. If anyone goes and they Google your stats, there's years or seasons where you've been the best batsman in terms of contributing. So when you are saying you are in the under 19, you are in the 19 cricket SA or in the national camp, have you decided which position you want to focus on?
Not really. I think it just happened because of when I started from under 11 to under 15, I didn't bowl.
Okay.
I couldn't bowl. Like, to be honest, I couldn't bowl. I was batting. They even tried me to bowl me. I was the worst bowler. When the time went on, I don't know how it switched, but also I think it's because of now the higher you go, the more players you get involved with. So I think it was also that at the time when I got to under 17, under 19, we had like more batsmen than bowlers.
Oh, okay. So what you basically you were basically doing what you did during your times with soccer. So now you're doing no. The competition is too much there. Let them go on their own. Let me focus now. Let me switch over. And it also would have given you then an opportunity for you to actually put in the work where you are saying you couldn't bowl before. Now you're saying, no, man, I actually can. It's just that previously I didn't put in the work. Is that?
That's the case because of now. Even the coach said, every next session you're gonna bowl. So I said, oh, it's fine, but I hate bowl. I hated bowling the time. So when the time went on, my bowling became fine, great. It progressed as the time. It went on. So when it came to under 15 and 17, because of now we had more batsmen than bowlers. So my coach said, you see, I told you now, you must work on your bowling. You see now, because there's no space for you in the batting, for let's say for six. So now you can come in as a bowler that can bat. We know you can bat. So that's how everything took change.
Damn.
So
Interesting.
it took turn from there. So I was like, okay. So it's like now we can use you at both. If you don't bat on the top six, you use it as a bowler that can bat. We know you can bat. Now you're playing because of now you can bowl. You're gonna bowl for us and you're gonna bat for us at this certain position, not at the higher position, but certain position you're gonna bowl and bat for us. So when the time went on, I think also my batting to go, not focusing on my batting that much because of now. Then I started enjoying bowling. So when I started bowling, I started enjoying it. Because of now I'm young, everything is so like, man. So of course, like I'm enjoying this. Like now everything I get everything on point, like everything you need I could do. So like
all you need to do is focus on your talent, and then the rest is provided for you.
So now I think that's when I forgot about the betting because I was enjoying this more than my betting. Because now I felt betting you get one chance. After that, if you go out, you out. Bowling, you can
always fix it.
You can always fix it when the time goes on.
You have a bad over, you come back again and you rectify it.
So you have overs. So he was like, okay, I was like, I enjoy bowling. So my betting is not like I said, no, I'm going to be a bowler. No, I think it just faded. But because I was focusing on this. Even my coach was focusing for me on this bowling things.
And then, so obviously, in order for you to make the national team or the Proteas camp, you have to be performing because you are no longer just challenging or competing against people in the province in the Northern Cape. You are now competing with everyone in the country. How is that improving your standing within the Northern Cape team? How is that improving your ranking and making you a more valuable player at home?
I think for me, it started when I went to the under 17 week. Because of, if you see the other boys from other provinces, how they play, how they look matured when they play the game. So when you sit there, it's like, what are we doing different at home and what are they doing?
That puts them where they are.
Yes, because you can see when they play, like, no man, it looks like those guys have been playing for years. You can see everything is perfect. Everything, like, you now, okay, you come from Kasi, it's like, man, those guys, even you play against them, you can see, like, those guys, there's something they're doing that we are not doing here. Our coaches are not doing or are not telling us. Because we can't come to National Week and they look like that and we look like this. We're competing, yes, but that's because of now the cricket. And some of them, they get known before they go to National Week during the year. Because now this coach is training him one-on-one. Okay, this coach is famous from somewhere. Okay, everyone knows this coach. Okay, no, everyone's going to speak good about him because of he's coaching him and he's getting money for coaching him. So from here in Kimberley, it's like, okay. So I went there, like, why? So I asked my coach, was like, why those guys like look different when they bat or bowl or field? Like everything is perfect. Like as a child, you can see me. Like
As you can see, techniques, stride,
techniques,
everything is on point.
everything's on point. Like, okay, we the best in Northern Cape. When you in Northern Cape, you can see we different to other Northern Cape kids because of we made the team. But now when we get there, it's like no,
You are now like those kids
yeah,
that
I'm
you
not
look
like,
down at back in
we
the
like those kids now. Like we are like no, we have to do something.
And I know you're gonna elaborate on it because you guys in the Northern Cape have now gotten yourself to a point where you can literally compete with the big guys. You can win championships and so forth. So you would have been within the structure from the time that you weren't looked at as title contenders to now where literally even the top teams take you serious. When you come on board, there's a certain level of respect that they have for you. And I want you to take us there as we're moving forward. So you are at the under 19 camp. What is the next highlight from there? Where is the trajectory going in terms of the growth of Kagisho? When do people start talking about you now around the country? When do you now start getting cousins from Cape Town? And, there's another person in Mpumalanga that's saying he's your brother, and people are just calling you from all over claiming you. When does that start?
Let's start from under 19 at the National Week. So what happens at the under 19 National Week? They after the week on day 6, there's SA schools and SA courts. So from all 12 provinces, they choose.
And just if I can just add on to that, I know someone is probably listening and saying, which country has 12 provinces? We have 9 provinces.
Sorry,
if you look
at
no, and in fact, you're actually not wrong. I'm just trying to get the listeners to view what you are saying in a different way, because when we talk about South Africa, there's 9 provinces. However, when you talk sports, there are more provinces, because I was born in the Eastern Cape, and in the Eastern Cape, we always had 3 provinces within the one province, and now there's 2. So there's an Eastern province and there's a border. So when you look at a number of different sporting codes, you look at it like that. There's 2 provinces coming from the Eastern Cape. Gauteng previously used to have your Easterns, which is Benoni now, but it was still part of what is Gauteng now. So I don't want people to mishear you when you say that. So no, in fact, I understand you very well that you are not wrong in saying the 12 provinces. You are basically referring to the different
team.
franchises.
Yes. Yeah. So they choose SA schools, SA courts. So what happened? So then I saw, because my first year. Okay, before that, they choose SA schools, SA courts. So then on day 6, they play against the franchise team. It depends who's
the hosting province.
Yes, who's the hosting province. So SA schools plays against the franchise team of that province. Then SA schools plays against that time was semi-pro amateur cricket. So it was semi-pro cricket at that time. So that's where now everyone started knowing who you are.
And at this time, obviously being a black boy coming from Khalishiwe, how many other black kids are in the setup? Or are you coming in like a Makai Antini and like literally you're the only one representing Kasi? How many other black kids or other kids from the township are with you in the setup?
So far now is 2. But the third one, I wouldn't say that because of he grew up in Kimberley. His name is Tsepo. He grew up in Kimberley. Then straight after school, he went to study in Bloem. Then he played for Free State. He played for Knights. He played for Lions in Joburg. He played for Warriors.
Border.
Yeah. So he went to Warriors first, then Lions. Then from Lions, he came here. So now
Was he with you from under 19, or you met
Yes,
him when
yes,
you went
yes.
pro? Okay,
we
interesting.
played school cricket together from school. So he's after school he went straight to Bloom to go study. Then he was playing for the franchise in Bloom. So he's also in Kimberley now since last season. So he's also here, and now there's a young Karabo. Yes, I almost forgot the name. Karabo. Karabo is also from the township, not far from where
Where you from?
Yes. So we're playing for the same club.
So would you say that you were one of those beacons of hope for Karabo, or would you say he literally did his own thing, or would you say, and I mean, you have a right to say it, if you are the one shining light from the Kasi inspiring everyone, has he had that conversation with you to say, you know what, Kagisho, if it wasn't for you, I would not have hung on to my dream, or I kept looking at what you were achieving and that drove me? What would you say, since you mentioned that he comes from your township and you've mentioned some of the challenges coming from the township, what would you say pushed him literally to hang on for as long as you've hung on, and for him to have achieved what he has achieved? I know the discussion actually is based on you, but your journey has inspired other people as well, and you yourself, you've also been inspired by others.
Yes, before me, there was other people at my club who inspired us before becoming professional cricketers. We had Los Bosman, and he's still my friend till now. Victor Pizza, he's also was CSA, he come from Yorkshire. Hilton Moran was a Protea ladies coach as well. He's from Yorkshire. So there was people before
That paved the way.
who paved the way for us. So then when we came, and they were not, when we started playing club cricket and playing for the
National teams.
So when we finished with school and playing club cricket, like they came to us like, okay guys, we paved the way for you guys, but we're not here now. So you guys are here in Kimberley. So you have to pave the way for the other kids
To come through.
For now, because of now, this one was based in Joburg, that one was based in Bloom, because they were still playing professional cricket at the time. So they couldn't just come to club because of now they have other duties to.
Yeah, they basically contracted to these other different.
Yeah, so they said no, we'll come back when we feel like we're done with the sports and whatever,
And come
give back. Can give back. So that time we were in charge, trying to get, because it wasn't easy. There were guys who were good, but they didn't make it in cricket because they took also the route of, okay, let me go work.
Oh, so
But
basically,
they were good at the sport, but that's just because of now they took the route of, let me go work, I'll just play club cricket. So even if you try to speak to him, okay, it's like, nah.
I need to look after my family.
Yes, he's used to the salary now. You have to take him off the salary and start over. That means
so you're basically taking him from earning a salary to him being basically a volunteer up until he makes it.
Yes, volunteer now to start over. So it's like, no, it's not gonna work because I can't leave this permanent job and go. What if I don't make it? Sometimes it's like, it's not like they don't want to try. They come with like, okay, what if I don't make it? I left my permanent job with benefits. So what if along the way I don't make it? So what's gonna happen to me?
And obviously you won't be able to answer that for someone else.
You get my point.
You have to have a certain level of passion to say, you know what, I'm taking the risk, and you can't take a risk for someone else. That other person has to take the risk for himself.
Yes. So there was a question they always ask, like, okay, I leave my permanent job with everything. I go to cricket. I know you say I have the potential, I have everything. But now I'm used to getting a salary to take care of myself, take care of my family. But now you say I must. That means it's starting over. So if it gets blocked here, it doesn't work out. I don't get a professional contract. I don't get into. So what's gonna happen to me? So now you can answer now, like you're like.
It's a very valid question.
It's a truth, yeah. But he can try. You believe he can try, but now you're checking. Hey, there's the truth. It's not like I can help him. Like
So you would say that a lot of great SA talent was lost because the guys had to choose between financially contributing at home and sustaining themselves, and rather than going towards the field and then trying with no guarantee that they'll be able to bring something back.
okay. Yes.
So now, if you look at that scenario, and I know you're at a stage in your life now where you are able to earn an income from the sport. That said, if there's someone with very deep pockets listening to this podcast now, what message do you have? How can they come on board and assist so that we can get more talent coming out of the township and actually representing the provinces rather than just taking the first out taking the first out where there's a guarantee of a salary and then just giving up what could have been legendary status in the sport?
I'll say they can help with growing cricket in Kasi. So as a kid, if you see something is growing at your area or whatever, especially in sports, like small things, having like tournaments, so you can see. Because for me to go with the sport is because of now I started traveling, seeing other provinces. So that's where I used to, because of now, that time I was still young. Still in school, I don't need to pay bills, I don't need to do anything, I get food when I get home. So some other guys didn't go through the system. So they started playing.
So they would have probably heard of the benefits from you, but they've never experienced. So it doesn't touch the same way.
Yes, it doesn't touch the same way. So now it's like I can't come when I do that when I'm older. I'm done with school now. I'm 23, 22. So you went through, you know. So I knew, okay, if I keep going,
this is where I can end up.
Yes, this is where I can end up, and this is where it's gonna take me, because of now even the camps and everything I went to. So I feel if they went through that, it was gonna be a different story. So now, for people to, I think it's just to help me to motivate kids from the Kasi, saying, okay, let's do this. Let's have a tournament there. Let's have, so they can bring the kids together. So they can know as well that, okay, I play the sports, there's a reward. There's tournament playing, we're playing at this example, at the Oval, night game or whatever. So that thing is going to change their
perception.
Yes, perception towards the game. That, okay, we do this, that's what we play at the stadium. The next thing, you're gonna play in Bloom. So it changed for me. I think for kids, for me, traveling changed everything for a kid, especially a young kid. So not the more you travel, once you can travel and go somewhere else and sleep in a hotel and have your breakfast, because of now the breakfast is not the same like at home. You have everything. So if one kid can go to such thing, I'm telling you now, for me, that's what changed me to say, I want to be here. So every year I want to come here.
So and you know, it's a very inspiring journey. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking now, it took a beating or it took a whooping for you to go towards cricket, and now you're looking back and you're thinking, if my mom was not there or I didn't get a beating, would I be where I am? How do you pay back, apart from all the achievements that you've apart from everything that you've achieved? How do you pay back your parents, or how do you go back to your mom and tell her that you are grateful because of what she did, or what she did, or what she's doing? I'm not sure. Maybe she's probably still your number one supporter.
Sure.
How do you thank her back, and what does she say now when she look at your journey?
now because of I'll say she's very proud, especially from where I come from and what I went through with her whooping me and where I ended up with the sport because of she came a couple of times me playing for the Knights. Yeah, T20 and one 50 over game in Kimberley. They came to support. So everyone was here, my family members, because it was also on TV. So for her, it is she's very proud actually because of now, and for that I stayed so long in the game, from school and from professional playing for 10 years, going for the 11th year now in Kimberley. So she's proud for me because of now. Even my younger brother, I have a younger brother, but now he's studying in Bloom, but he's playing for the Bloom team now.
Okay,
So
and I'm listening, and any parent would be proud. Like I know, and majority of us, we come from Kassis, we come from the township. What would you say if you look back at some of the friends you grew up with, or some of the guys you went to school with, who obviously went the wrong way? What would you be able to specifically pinpoint to say, because of cricket, I avoided this, because of playing and knowing that every year I'm going to Benoni, every year I'm going to the cricket camp, I was able to avoid this? And maybe, and you don't have to mention names, but maybe you have friends that are obviously ended up in the wrong place, and as harsh as it sounds, some of our best friends that we grew up with, some end up in the cemetery, some end up in the prison system, others just go wayward. What specifically is there that you can point now and say, because of cricket, this is what I avoided in this, this is the wrong things that I avoided within my community?
at that time, I'll say cricket helped me a lot, especially when it comes to street activities. I think I must put it that way. Street activities, because of now. At that time, I had a couple of friends who were not in sports, so they were going the wrong way. And that time, you knew it's the wrong way, but you can't say no.
Yeah, because you don't want to be seen as the uncool one.
Yes. So the fact that we knew this is not the right way, and some of them end up being stabbed, end up went to prison. Some of them died because of. So now at the time, you was like, okay, my friends are there. Let me because now they're gonna say, you
think you're better.
You think better than us? What? Because they used to say that to me. Like, you play cricket. When I started playing like provincial cricket from under level, you think you're better than us because you're playing cricket. You travel, what. So as a kid, because now they're your friends. Like it hurts you. Like, okay.
So now you basically want to take away your achievement just so that you can fit in.
Yes. I think it was also the fitting in that also thingy.
That complicated
things for me. Like, okay, every time I come from the national week,
then they would change towards you.
Change towards me for a few days. Then after that, it will be fine with me. So I was like, okay, let me rather. So because there was a time I said, okay, no, man, let me just leave this cricket team, because now I felt like dating now, because I was moving forward at that time.
And they think you're leaving them behind.
Yes, at school cricket at the time I was moving forward. So because of now I'm playing this, I'm traveling, we're training at the Oval. They haven't been in the Oval, just in the Oval. They haven't been in the Oval. I'm training here. That time there was a taxi. We were sponsored by Standard Bank. They give us it was a CI at the time. They used to come. It was branded Standard Bank, everything. So they knew when they see the taxi in the car, it's gonna fetch us. Going there, they drop us off again after training. So I think that thing also. But now, because of now, I think I didn't have friends in cricket department. My friends was outside cricket and soccer. So I think that changed for me when I started making friends
within the
sport. So when I started making friends within the sports in cricket, so one day because of now, one of my coach, before I started making friends, my coach said, your friends are not good for you. Like, how do you mean? I know those guys for so long, since I was young. He said, yes, I know. But now, you guys don't talk about cricket. You guys don't talk about what? Like, why was you talk about cricket? So, like, you guys don't talk about cricket, what? Because they're doing bad things. I'll get yourself cricket friends. You're going to see the difference. And you're going to see the difference about your game and everything. So I thought at the time, hey, this one is lying to me.
He just doesn't like your friends.
Yeah, he's lying to me. That's one I must leave my friends. So until it happened, I got friends. So one day we played a club game at the Yorkshire Cricket Club. So we played after. So they chill afterwards. So I chilled. So that's where I saw, man, this guy's actually, that coach was right. That if you get guys, so how we talking cricket, it's after the game.
Yeah, now you're developing your game
We're developing your game.
Because you're getting constructive feedback.
Whatever we did wrong, whatever you did wrong with bowling or batting, we say, okay, when you come Monday, work on this. Because of they always get you out like this. Like simple things. Like even if we go out with them, it's like, okay, we go out certain time. We go. Okay. So like, okay. Then he said, no, they more focused because of now. Whatever this cricket showed them and gave them, they know where they want to go. So with those other friends, it's not the same. They know only this. And now you here, they here. They're gonna want to push you here.
They're gonna pull you, yeah,
They're
they're
gonna
pull you to where?
Pull you down. Like being friends with your department of in the sports thing, where you guys are pulling each other up. So
They're helping each other grow.
After a few 2-3 years, after seeing it, then I said, okay, it's like, this is true. So that's where I cut all those other friends. Like, okay, guys, I started chilling with my teammates. It started there with my teammates because I knew them, because I played with them. So I started knowing people who are important in the game. People I didn't know. At that time, I didn't know any. When I started playing, I didn't know any professional cricketers. The only people I know was Lotz, because he was from the same Kasi, Victor. So I knew those people because I knew them from the Kasi. I didn't know. I can't make an example or two. I didn't know the time. Justin Kemp was playing for Africa at the time. Yeah. I didn't know Justin Kemp. I didn't know Makayantini. I didn't know, because I didn't watch the game by myself. I couldn't say, okay, no, there's a game today at 2:00. I'm going home. South Africa is playing. Sit down. I wasn't. It started when I started going with these guys, because of now, if there's a South African game, we'll go in the clubhouse to put a TV. That's what's like. So that's where now I started knowing players. Okay, I saw this guy a couple of times, but I didn't know him. I just passed him like that. So this other guy told me, no, it's Justin. I'm like, hey, my guy, I don't know. It's Makayantini. I don't know Makayantini.
I don't watch these things. If I'm not playing cricket, I'm with my friends.
Yeah, if I'm playing, I'm out there. So it's like, no. So when I started watching cricket, so if you watch as well, your game grows. Because I didn't believe in that. I said, I'm watching cricket. I'm playing cricket. Why must I watch it? So after watching it, everything grows. Your cricket grows. You see people, and when you meet people, you get now excited because of now. Every time you're watching, because that time we were only watching the Proteas. That time, because of that's all. If you're the Protea, you want to watch Proteas and whoever playing. So for me, the journey. It was great, actually.
Okay. And then just basically in closing, if let's say if your mom is listening to this podcast, what is that one message that you want to give her?
I'll say thank you for guiding me the time I didn't know where I'm going with my sports. So I'll say thank you, and thank you to showing me the way whatever you saw and you heard from the coaches at the time about me and the cricket and what I have to give the coaches and what they believed also in me, and you made it sure that it happens. I want to say thank you for everything, and I love you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Me. Reale boa. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kagisho Mohale, Northern Cape cricketer, a member of the Hits team. Very inspirational journey. If you are listening, please share with others. Let's get young kids to understand the potential that they have. And then we will have a better society. My name is Mr. Linzito, the number one motivator south side of the equator. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of the Linzito podcast. Sharpen away.